welcome back to the Retro Jersey Podcast. We are going live. We were thinking about doing it uh, pre-recorded, but I decided better of it, and I'd like to give y'all guys the news up front. If you have not, I repeat, if you are not a subscriber, I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe. I know I'm behind with my guests. I spoke to a couple of them today, and they told me whenever I'm ready, they are ready. I got a gang of guys coming, and I cannot wait to get back in the studios and start putting this back together again. I miss talking to the guests, and I know you guys miss that. I got a train line of guests that are waiting, and I I just can't wait to get back to doing it. So on with the show. So Florida State loses to Clemson again by the score of 24-10. Ladies and gentlemen, this is starting. Well, it ain't starting. It's been atrocious, and I'm tired of looking at Florida State football. I'm tired of looking at Florida State football. I'm sorry, but that's just where I'm at, and I'm gonna love the school. I had family that played at Florida State. I had friends that played at Florida State. Uh, I have a cousin that plays there now, and this is starting to be unbearable to watch. This ain't this ain't Florida State football, man. Look, I don't care if you don't like them, but you know better that this ain't blue blood activity that is going on right now. So, like I said, we lost Clemson, and the record in the past 10 years is a 1-9 record over Clemson or behind Clemson. We are 1-9 in 10 years versus Clemson. Clemson came in 3-5. Okay, Clemson came in 3-5, and we came in at 4. Oh, Jesus, that's funny. It sounds terrible to say. Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Um, what's up, bro? What's up, Byron? Uh, Talking about Florida State football and a couple of more things. What's bothering me is Florida State only scored 10 points against Clemson when Duke, of all teams, the Duke's getting better. They're not just a basketball school too much anymore. They become a football school. Hey, how's everybody doing? They're also a football school as time goes by. Yeah, Duke goes to Clemson and scores 45 points on Clemson. Florida State couldn't even put up 10 points. They barely put up 10 points. Hi. I'm not understanding this Gus Bus offense. I have the answer to what. I'm not going to blame Coach Malzahn because I told you last week what it was. We ain't going to make a bowl game this year. Florida State, you're not going to make a bowl game this year, so we can go ahead and get that out of our heads because the you can't even beat teams that are 3-5. You can't even beat Stanford, but you want to go to, man. If if I'm the television people, I wouldn't even want Florida State playing on TV anymore. Uh, Let them play on Tubi. Put their games on Tubi. I'm serious. Cartoon Network, I don't even think they would want him on there. Listen, I watched the press conference today. Uh, Florida State, we have a stupid fan base, but Norvell, these fans ain't that stupid. How's their offense? Their offense, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. B. Um, their offense is inconsistent, very inconsistent offense. He Norvell must take us for another level of stupid, saying they've hoisted championships. You've only won an ACC championship, and you have not won anything without Jordan Travis. You cannot win without Jordan Travis. You got Tommy Castellanos back there, and he is not smooth like Jordan Travis. He's not smooth or effortless like Jordan Travis. Norvell ain't won but two or three ACC games in the past 2 years. That's that's embarrassing. That's not Florida State football. That's not Florida State football whatsoever, man. While on the other side of this, Willie Taggart, and that's still nothing to write home about. Willie Taggart, in his run at Florida State in 2 years, he went 9-12, which ain't nothing to write home about. That's not, but it was way better than what this guy did or what this guy's doing. I'm sorry, Coach Norvell, and I like you as a person, but you're not him. You're not that guy. You're playing at a level of football that sucks. You got these guys playing at a level of football that sucks right now. We're losing prestige stars. If I'm a recruit, I wouldn't want to come here and play. Yeah. If I'm a recruit, I wouldn't want to come here and play. We just proved Saturday that we can't beat Clemson on their worst day. That's all we did. Clemson's 3-5. We're 4-4. That's funny to say. We cannot beat Clemson on their worst day. That's all that proved. Had better total yardage than them. We had more total yardage than them. I think we had 338, and I think they had somewhere around about 319, 320, and we still couldn't get the job done. And we supposedly had the best scoring offense in the country. A lot of that stuff was between two games with cupcake schools. Through cupcake schools, where you put up 77 and 80 points on a cupcake school a couple of times. And then you got a lot of these other points during garbage time, like at Miami. You got garbage time points. Come on, man. That that's deceiving. Hey, Chris, what's up? I'm all right. How are you? These kids ain't being put in the right position to win. They they're just not being put in the right position to win. So let's talk about LSU and Brian Kelly. So a couple of weeks ago they fired him, and it's not going. It's not a smooth breakup. Have I ever played pro? No, I haven't. A little college ball though, and a lot of my family is in the pros. I have a very very famous cousin. You might know him. Brian Kelly, yeah, like I said, he was fired at LSU. I needed to say this last week. Why is the governor? Why is the governor of Louisiana involved in the coaches search for LSU? Involved in the next coaches search for LSU. I don't understand that. And not only that, this fool also wants the president of the United States to help assist in the coaches search. Or even he's gone on to say he would even pick, he would even let the president pick the head coach. This, this is stupid. This is very stupid. Yes, I have children. It's just stupid. Why do people that have not played a down of football always have an opinion about football, or always telling somebody that has a competitive spirit about football how and what to feel about football? It's stupidity. Very stupid. Not only that, this fool wants LSU to put up a statue in front of the football stadium of Charlie Kirk. They want the governor of LSU wants LSU to put up a statue of Charlie Kirk in front of the football stadium. Now, if I'm a recruit or I'm somebody that's in the portal, I wouldn't even want to come to LSU now. I would not even want to come to LSU. All this stuff that happened with Kyron Lacey and Brian Kelly, and now they're wanting to put a statue of Charlie Kirk in front of the stadium, somebody who never attended the school. Yeah, come on, man. We're doing too much. LSU is my second favorite school, and I love LSU. I love LSU. I don't see how Jefferson and Beckham and Odell Beckham Sr. and all these greats that went there. Ryan Clark is not going for it though. Uh, Honey Badger, all of these guys, they're not fixing to go for that. I wouldn't want to come to LSU right now. And here's my other question: why are you putting up a statue of this dude when he did never attend the school? And what's even worse is he's an Oregon Ducks fan. I think Charlie Kirk was an Oregon Ducks fan, and I'm sure he is. So recruits, if they're gonna play politics, if they're gonna play politics, go ahead and find you another school. There's plenty more schools in Louisiana. I'm not going to tell you to come to Florida State either because they suck. They suck terribly. Just terrible, terrible football altogether. I told you why I think the football ratings and the interest of football has gone down. It's because of what I talked about on the show last week, and the lack of testosterone in these young men today is striking. And these kids don't these kids don't play for pride anymore. They don't play for, you know, bragging rights anymore. They play for an ATM check. They're treating this like an ATM check. Now they don't. This NIL stuff has gotten a little bit. I was on board for it for the moment, but for a certain limit, millions and millions and millions of dollars being thrown around, and you're not getting results out of it. I think the transfer portal. I think the transfer portal should have been used for kids that aren't getting playing time in places, not just throwing money around at other places. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the NIL owes um, LeVar Ball a a dose of a dose of a dose of credit here because he let the NCAA know, hey, I don't work for y'all, so y'all can't tell me how to do me when it comes to me and my kids. So we don't work for the NCAA. So it's after that got said, now they're starting to think. Now they done put this NIL stuff together, and it's gotten out of hand. We got a couple more things to go over. I won't hold y'all long. We lost a few sports legends, sports greats. Uh, we lost NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, passed away at age 84. Um, didn't realize he was the lawyer for the NFL before, you know, he became the commissioner. And he was the commissioner for the NFL for 17 years. To me, that was the best era of football when he was there. Although, it came with later consequences as far as CTE is concerned. And you'll hear that word CTE. You'll hear those letters later on uh, when we're talking about something else. But it was fun to watch. He he succumbed to congestive heart failure uh, this past week, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And thank you for being a part of my childhood growing up, Commissioner Tagliabue. Uh, I always wanted to shake your hand, but I never got a chance to, whereas becoming a football player. Uh, we also lose another great. This one was crazy. Lenny Wilkins. What was crazy when I say it was crazy is he. I honestly thought that he had passed a few years back, but he had been laying low, chilling, and he had a hell of a career. It was one of the league's true gentlemen, in my opinion. Him, along with Dr. J and Joe Dumars, and a couple of others, but those are the most notable. Um, Going on every level of playing basketball. He won as a basketball player, 9-time NBA All Star, NBA MVP of the All Star game. Uh, I could go on and on. He was Coach of the Year in 1979, uh, or 1994. Um, Won a championship in 1979 with the I want to say it was the Supersonics. More sad news, and when I say sad news, it's hi, how you doing, Stephanie? Um, Antonio Brown was arrested on the 9th of this month for attempted murder. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're doing all right, Queen. Uh, I, I'm at a loss for words. I've been saying this for years that Antonio Brown, yeah, Antonio Brown was. I think he's been diagnosed. He should have been diagnosed with CTE a while back, and I'm the first one that to report this. I was like, this guy should be scanned for CTE because his behavior started getting erratic. It wasn't to where he was out of control on stuff, but now I'm starting to see. Yeah, yeah, I think he's taking too many bumps, and I think after that Vontez Burfict hit, that that put him in a that put him in a, a mind coma, if you will. They said he took the gun off of a security officer and fired off two shots and grazed the guy's neck that he was shooting at after a fight, which is scary enough. And I'm not going to defend him, but you know, I'm not going to defend him, but we don't know what happened out there. My favorite football team. That's a good question, Queen Stephanie. Uh, it's uh, probably the Dolphins as much as they suck right now. And when they suck, I'm a 49ers guy. What about yourself? College, my other team in college it sucks. It's Florida State, and oh Jesus, yeah. So my teams suck this year. Every team that I've had this year, Queen Stephanie, sucked. My Atlanta Braves sucked this year. Miami Dolphins sucked this year. San Francisco was on their way to sucking this year. Florida State football sucking this year. Uh, I'm a Lakers fan, and they're doing all right without uh, La Crybaby or whatever they call him. Uh, that's another thing I need to discuss, and I'll let y'all get out of here. Um, if you notice, since LeBron, oh, I love the Packers. I love the Packers. I love the Packers when they had Reggie White, Brett Favre, uh, Dwight Stone. Uh, who else did they have? Gosh, uh, John Yurkovich. Those are my guys. I love them. I love Reggie White. Rest his soul. But like I was saying, the uh, the NBA uh, has its biggest watch audience in 15 years. The NBA views are back up 92%. Oh, I like Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. He's pretty good. Yeah, I love Jordan Love. He's pretty good. I watched him in college. I watched him play in college. He's good. Uh, they could win it. The Packers could win it this year. Yeah, they could win it this year. But yeah, I think they'll do. I think they're good. I think they'll do good. They got a great defense. I'll tell you that. They got an excellent. Oh, are they? Who are they playing? Yeah, who are they playing? That's who I like. That's what I like to know. Yeah, I want to know who they're playing because I support the Packers. Actually, my son loved the Packers when he was a kid, and well, we'll find out. My son loved the Packers when he was a kid, and I just love Reggie White. So I think Reggie White and Lawrence Taylor are the best defensive players in the history of football? We'll find out. With that being said, I want to thank you all for coming over. Queen Stephanie, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so so we can get you up. Normally bring up I normally bring up guests to talk about football with us, so or whatever sports you like. And once again, I thank you guys for coming out and showing out and showing support. Love you, and we will see you on the next show.